Good evening everyone, welcome back to Tom Plays Factorio for absolute beginners. We have researched the utility science pack, so we need to get that set up before anything else, and it looks like we're going to need the three things we started making most recently, so that's maybe a good thing, I guess. Okay, right, so mustn't forget the main reason we were doing all this was to get artillery. So we have almost everything we need for that now. We still need to build tanks and military 4. Okay, so we're going to actually need some of these yellow vials for that, but we can research tanks immediately. So I'll trigger that going. Okay. Flying robot frame. Low density structure. Yeah, so it kind of feels like we may as well do our yellow vial production over here, I guess. I'll be optimistic and set it up to make 2. I may not be able to get the materials there fast enough for that to be worth doing, but we'll see. Okay. Actually, let's get an idea as to how many we need. So we need more low density structures than anything else. Flying robot frame is the thing we need the least of. So maybe I'll put that in for the long angled one. Okay, so as things stand, we may as well have all of these productions going that way. This is the only thing we actually know we need this stuff for. And the fact is that the yellow vials are extremely important. Oh, what am I doing? You want this to come in here, don't you? Very much doubt we're going to need more than just a fast inserter for these, and then presumably What's not happening here? Don't have any electrical circuits coming in. That's because they're all being grabbed by this. You see, this is your problem, Tom. You knew there was a danger of things getting starved. And indeed they are. Just trying to think what's the best way to split this out. Possibly what would be a better option would be to increase the number. Okay, well let's not worry about that for now. Let's think more about making sure this is all actually working. What else are you not getting? You're also not getting electronic circuits. Of course you're not. Alright, so we've got a massive starvation of electronic circuits problem happening. Fine, fine. Okay. Let's at least build another one. Actually, it's not even that other electronic circuits I need to build, is it? Yeah, I definitely need to pick up some more electronic circuits either way. Does it lift with a random copper wire? No, it has not. That's good. So let me just dump some electronic circuits in this one as well, so we can at least be getting on with making stuff and we can test the theory. And in the meantime, let's try to increase the number of copper wires we're making. Right, so part of our problem is simply down to them not being moved quickly enough. This seems like a perfect opportunity to switch over to something a little faster. Yeah, the iron was already on something faster, which is fine. Okay, alright, we've got some of them going past them. So we're not completely failing to get through. Still, right, so you want to make copper wire. And you want to have some productivity modules to slow you down slightly. And we need another power thing. There we go. So now we're producing far more of these. And you're making electronic circuits. like our iron has stopped completely. Somehow. Where's the iron train? Oh, there it is. Right, not sure why it stopped, but I need to get it moving again because we are out of iron. Which nobody wants. What's copper? No iron. Okay, right, we'll see how that goes once our iron is moving again. For now we seem to have some yellow vials, which is great. So I just need to get those down to the research matrix. I don't know if I even need two. But I suppose they are one of the more common types. They just seem rare at the moment because they're new. Okay. Right, that seems a little necessary. Not expecting to run out of transport belts. Okay, so the iron's coming back in now, which is good. Debatable as to whether it's fast enough, but we will see. Right, so it actually kind of looks like I want it to be going this way. It's also not doing a huge amount with the concrete. Besides using it, obviously. Yeah, actually it might have made more sense to in fact go in that direction. Okay, so hopefully that will actually work and they will come all the way down here. Oh boy, right. Okay, so we also need to equip these to move the yellows now. So yellows are always going to want to go left, if nothing else. I might have them go up from there, and then left again. In the tact. And you want to go down, and you want to go up. And I think that should cover it. So if I dump our yellow ones, they should get dispersed reasonably effectively. And then all I want is a light to indicate the number we have. So we were using for this an arithmetic combinator. Nice and basic. Okay, so the arithmetic combinator is looking for a number of utility science packs that is greater than 0, I guess, and then it will output the colour yellow. I should probably check this against what I've got. Yeah, looks right. And then in theory this should enable when the yellow signal is greater than 1, I guess, and it should use the colour. That's right. So now we just need to test that by actually getting yellows in these boxes, which is going to be interesting. So what is stopping that from happening? I'm guessing the answer is probably electronic circuits. I don't know, we've got some coming though. No, we've got flying robot frames. What we don't have is processing units. Interesting. So actually that should fix itself. So actually, to be fair, we could probably just leave that, because we can see at the moment that it doesn't have, that it's not lit up and doesn't have a colour. Oh, there we go. So it might flicker when the boxes are temporarily full, but once all the matrix is full of yellows, yeah, that looks good. We should get a steady yellow light here. Yes, we're currently out of yellows and cyans. But of course we're using the cyans. Right, great. So with that in mind, let's check our equipment. Maybe get rid of this plastic, which I do not need. Yeah, we've definitely got a lack of electronic circuit problem here, haven't we? Producing quite a few. So right, they're going through alright. Get some more not having enough here. But then all of the copper isn't reaching the top either. So I think if anything, we could do with another copper assembling machine. Copper wire, sorry. More than anything. Far southwest is under attack. Okay, we've got a bunch coming through. Don't have enough electronic circuits going this way, really. Also, you're a bit slow, so let's... In fact, yeah, let's give you a fast one in general. Danger of starving those, but now this is moving faster. I think it's less of an issue. And I might get our processing units working a bit quicker. Okay, so what are we low on before I head out? We have not enough steel chests, plenty of ammo, grenades, defenders, distractors, we're all good. I don't think it's entirely a bad thing if we just head down to cause trouble. So the big question is, where's the iron train right now? Well, it's not far southwest, so that's good, because that is where I want to go. The bad thing is that it's just been there, but can't be helped. No. Right, so let's bring it back here. Everyone else using it for transport might mean that we drop a bit more off, you never know. Restock our iron supplies a little. Not sure if we're really going to have a use of a tank. I haven't even been using the little car that we made very much. Tank's slower but better defended, and it actually is armed. So in some ways that makes it a little more viable as a vehicle. Well, the train's full already, which is good. I know I didn't let it empty itself, but it's still good. Okay. Right, so I want to try and do a bit of damage to that base again, because they are damaging us. So maybe if we at least do a little bit of damage, it might get him to back off a little. Right. So put some distractors down. Make a little cloud of defenders. Equip our grenades. Okay. More defenders. More distractors. Okay, getting stopped and killed. Okay. I suppose I was asking for that a bit. Never mind. Right, okay. I'll go on course retrieval and we'll maybe see if that's done enough damage to the base that they'll attack a bit less. Let's just get our basic equipment. Heavy armour. Grab a few grenades. Maybe get some defenders. I'm hoping we can actually pick up our equipment without too many issues, but we'll see. There's the iron train. Oh, it's there again. Right, I must make sure I send it somewhere else after this. Things are slowing down but not stopping. Speaking of, where's my train? Oh, I sent it there. Well, that was stupid. Grief. Really doing well today. Never mind. So just read the word southwest. Okay. I wonder if I could use a tank for corpse retrieval. Of course, I could always try the wacky idea of not constantly getting myself killed. Right, so if I send you to drop off from here, and you'll go to southeast next. So that might allow us to make a bit of progress. Right, so before I worry about there we go. Okay. Things are a lot bigger when they're when I don't have the camera zoomed out. Never mind. There we go. Right, let's make sure we are equipped. Let's put our modular armor on. Get rid of that. That needs to go there. Get rid of those. Get rid of that as well. You can have armor-piercing rounds. And here's our rocket launcher. And our explosive rockets. But I'm not going to press the attack. Right, so we have made, in theory, a tank. And we can make cannon shells. But I'm not entirely sure which ones we really need. So let's do military 4, which needs the yellow vials. 45 of them apparently. Actually, am I reading that right? I'm not reading that right, am I? 45 is the time to research one unit, and we need 150 in total. So yeah, we're really going to have to step up our yellow vial production to make any headway there. But in the meantime, let me get our train back. Not in fact even made it to Iron Mines Southeast. In some ways, I wonder if I should have done some nuclear research or something to give us a chance to stockpile more yellow vials. But maybe this is just a good opportunity for me to work on speeding up the production. And then maybe we can take a break and research nuclear power. So if we're doing too badly, despite my getting myself killed again, which is very embarrassing, and I really need to stop doing that. No major issues with this base. So let's get you going so you get out of our way. Still, notwithstanding the embarrassing death, yet again, we did destroy a few bits of the enemy base, the bits that were closest to ours. So that might be enough to stop the attacks, or at least make them less damaging. Right, let's leave you to it. We will see what we can do to improve our yellow vial setup and blue vial setup by the look of it, because neither is doing amazingly. What's going on here? Well, we're doing pretty well on the old advanced circuit production, doing very well on electronic circuit production, so it actually looks like things should be going pretty well. So what's our sticking point? Our sticking point is the low density structures, which is down to steel. Pretty much as expected, I have to say. Okay, well, we could probably do another electric furnace here. Need a few of these, aren't we? Might still build a tank. Let's do electric furnaces first, though. So just grab this 20. Probably way more than we actually need. Be good if we could have a good solid line of steel production, really. I might like here. So just theoretically, well, not theoretically because I'm actually doing it, but if we make a nice line of, oops, iron going this way, and then we would have a nice line of steel going in the opposite direction. we just join said line of steel to our existing steel output, up here, and then randomly run out of transport belts again. Okay. So I think in theory that should work. And more to the point, it's expandable. And what I am going to need is a ton of production modules. And some more inserters. Okay. Let's assume for the time being that that's enough electric furnaces, and I'll put the remaining ones back. But the idea is we can always get more. I think there's 3 different streams coming from this steel production now. Yeah. So it would be nice if we could have a very solid supply of steel going to those 3 streams. Okay. That's actually working pretty nicely. We're making a fairly solid stream because the 6 steels get out of the way just as another 6 are produced. Very nice. Not intentional, but very nice. Of course, we've also still got this one working away. That all looks good. It's going into the low density structure production, which should ramp the yellow vial production up quite a bit, I would hope. Right, okay, so what about the cyan vials? Because they seem to have run out as well. Oh, not anymore. Okay. Right, that's fine then. I think they're all okay. Brilliant. Okay. I do have a couple of things I need to get rid of. Beyond that, we're actually looking alright. Let's restock medium electric pulse slightly. Let's check where the iron train is. It's not stuck. That's good. There seems to be a lot of production there. I think I'd like to go check that base out because I'm wondering if some of the iron mines have run out. So let's just bring it back, and I'm going to ride the train up there. Because it got stuck there before. It might just be that I had it on some substandard like patches of iron on the outskirts that didn't have much in, so maybe a bunch of the mines are now empty. And just head up there and take a look. Give the base a bit of time so we can work out what the bottleneck is in our research production as well. I still think it's likely to be the yellow vials all the way now. At least when we're researching yellow vial stuff. There we go. Yeah, 4 mines out. Go. That'll speed things up a bit, and in the meantime we'll head back with what we've got, and it can move on to the next mine, which is iron mine far southwest. So if I was going to attack again, I could ride the train down there, but I don't think I will, because I don't think I've seen any more damages since the last one. What I would like to do is just quickly check on the nuclear mine, the uranium mines I should say. And then I might leave it there. Hemmed in by cliffs there. We could use explosives to collapse them, but I like to keep some of the natural formations around, even if they're in the way. But it looks like they're quite clogged up with iron up there now, which is good. The more everything can be clogged up with iron, the better. How are we doing? Yep, one's run out. So let's alright, interesting. I haven't got these quite in the right order. Okay, well it'd be much easier to do another mine in the same line, because that way it will automatically have sulfuric acid being piped to it. So I guess I can do that. But yeah, we want to keep this moving if possible, especially because we've only got 5 mines, so we're not overwhelming these in any case. How are we actually doing? 17. 17 of a necessary 49, I think. But we're getting there. Not questioning these still. Not exactly full, are we? So we could do the last pump jack. And we might even want to think about looking for another oil field. Other than that, looks good. Okay, so haven't actually checked what our radars have found. Well, there's some more oil up here, which would be convenient because we were already set up to accept oil from this direction. More iron and copper, but I think we're actually doing generally okay, and if we're going to expend our iron, it'll probably be to here. Down from Iron Mine far southwest. Yeah, we do have another source of uranium. We haven't found any more with our various radars. So yeah, brilliant. So we, let's see, set up yellow vial production. Oh, being attacked. And sort of vastly increased the production of the things needed for it. We moved that base back a little, and I got killed again, embarrassingly. But it does seem to have reduced the attacks on this base. And that's really it. Other than that, it was general maintenance. with restoring mines and things to keep things going. But I do think it's going well, and hopefully we will actually be able to get artillery, if not next time, then the time after. So whether we try and make it straight away, or whether we try and do some nuclear research, because we are going to need to actually research the Covrex process before we can use it, but we do have a way to go before we get there. So it might not be in a hurry, it's just whether it would be more cost effective to research something that doesn't need yellow vials for a bit. But we'll think about that next time. I will leave it there for now. Thank you for watching. I will see you then.